Hi, everyone. My name is Alexandra Mliswa. I'm a CSR practitioner, and currently I work for corporate affairs in the mining and extractives industry.
Hi, Alex.
In Zimbabwe.
Amazing. Hi, Alex.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, exhausted. I'm coming from a project site actually, but I'm really excited to be here. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to have you today. I do know that you are very passionate about what you're doing as a CSR practitioner, and you're currently in the process of doing a project. Can you just tell us about some of your initiatives that you are doing as a Zimbabwean woman in the CSR space?
Okay, well, my history with CSR actually started around about 2015. That was before I was in the extractive industry. And one of the memorable things that I can probably mention is that right out of university, I got a group of companies together to assist graduates with scholarships, internships, and graduate trainee programs.
Yeah.
So a lot of graduates in Zimbabwe didn't really have access or maybe information to how they get into companies in terms of whether it was for an internship or just for a graduate trainee program or job. So we hosted a careers fair, and I was 1/3 of a partnership that organized that. Another memorable one is a law clinic that I organized in a town called Norton, which is about an hour out of the capital, Harare, and I got some law firms to come together and give back to the community by providing some free legal advice to a lot of people who wouldn't ordinarily have access to it, and that was a huge success. Then fast forward to the beginning of my career in the extractives industry. I started when COVID-19 was at its peak, and it hit in about 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
And a lot of my initiatives were based on intervention. So we helped surround with basic awareness in the local communities at shops. Kind of just went on, and we partnered with the Kadoma City Council, which is another town outside the capital.
Yeah, it's quite exceptional. I do know that you are a young woman and you've done so much for the community. Can you tell me about some of the challenges that you have encountered? Because I do know that they do exist.
Well, being in the mining space, which is a lot of the problems are the same problems that women in any corporate or male-dominated industry would face. But I suppose most of them would be mostly around having to prove yourself more than men to get the attention that you need for your ideas, and even to a degree resources to be able to do your job properly. If it's a man asking for something, he gets whatever he needs. The accounts department will give him the money really fast. Yeah. They don't over scrutinize budgets. But being a female, you really have to prove yourself above and beyond what a male will do to even be provided the resources to do your job.
Yeah.
Another thing, so being in a male-dominated industry and working on mine sites or deep in the community, you kind of have to desexualize yourself or remove your femme to it.
Yeah.
But it's sort of because they're like, why are you so mean? Why aren't you smiling? Yeah. If I'm not giggling, then you guys think I'm flirting with you.
That's the thing.
Something like that. So it's just, you never really win, but there is to make a mark for yourself. And I think after a while, your work, if you have the opportunity to be able to do it, will speak for itself. And you kind of have your portfolio and projects, things that you've done, and your experience ends up opening doors for you and paving the way for you going forward.
That's pretty cool. And I know you're currently really busy. You are heading off to site after a meeting, and previously you were on site. Can you just tell us a bit about the projects that you're doing, if you can?
Sure. Currently, I'm working for a mining company. It's in the chrome mining and coal mining sector. Also do ferrochrome manufacturing. It's called Jinan Corporation, and I think the project, I can tell you about this one briefly, is we're just trying to beautify the airport road. It's a 10-kilometer stretch. So we've managed to acquire and plant about 1,000 palm trees and acacia trees that we're planting and maintaining along the airport road stretch, so that people going towards the airport and coming in from either outside or returning Zimbabweans can just see all of the beautiful greenery and just be reminded about how beautiful the country is.
Absolutely. That's quite exciting. And do you think there is potential for women, Black women in the CSI space to thrive? Because that's where you currently are, and you are a young Black woman.
Yeah, 100%. Funny you mentioned that, because I'm actually, other than my day-to-day job that I'm doing now, I'm one half of a female-led consultancy company that focuses solely on CSR called Alteri. And it's me and another woman, a Zimbabwean woman. And as far as I know, we're the only, so I guess the leading CSR consultancy in the country.
Yeah.
And it's a good opportunity for women, and it's an easier space, I might say, because traditionally and in Africa, women are always seen as caregivers, to hand over any community projects to women, and also trust that women would be able to make good decisions for future generations and everyone's children. So that stereotype as the maternal caregiver kind of comes in handy in that sense, because you don't really have to have too much of a fight or a struggle with males when it comes to certain projects and initiatives and community development.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, Alex, what can we look forward to from the CSR space as a woman in mining in Zim?
Well, my focus mostly is my focus and passion is mostly centered around human and community development. So with the boom in the mining industry, what I'm just trying to advocate for is that companies give back into the community in meaningful and measurable ways. There is a science to it, and as much as CSR culture is catching on now, people and companies can end up doing these haphazard initiatives that actually have nothing to do with anything, or actually look into minimizing the negative externalities of the operations.
Yeah.
So yes, sponsoring a soccer team is great, but what are you doing to minimize maybe air pollution or water pollution and things like that? Because that should primarily be where the focus is. And then, of course, you can still sponsor a soccer team if you want to, but the focus is on trying to mine sustainably and around this concept called green mining. So, and still be able to contribute to the growth and development of the communities that they operate in.
Amazing. Makes a lot of sense. So you're talking sustainability. That's what you're talking about, basically.
Yeah, sustainable mining.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Alex. We've reached the end of our meeting.